The last 20 years, I've been running the Bosnian Pyramid Project, which is the largest and biggest pyramids in Europe. I've been publishing peer-reviewed scientific articles and the books. They've been focused on sacred geometry, megalithic engineering, archaeoastronomy, and prehistoric civil engineering. We've been organizing scientific conferences, interdisciplinary research programs, and using LiDAR surveys, geophysical measurements, and GIS-based spatial analysis. So, the title of my today's lecture is GIS Analysis of Linear and Spiral Geometries in the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids. The subtitle, Implications for Prehistoric Civil Engineering and Landscape Planning. And I'm really happy to join the 9th International Conference on Civil Engineering and Urban Planning. So, what I want to achieve is to demonstrate how modern GIS and engineering tools can be applied to evaluate large-scale prehistoric landscape organization. Now, the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids do exhibit repeated geometrical patterns, and they can be observed at monumental landscapes like the Giza pyramids, Teotihuacan pyramids in Mexico, or Stonehenge megalithic circle in the United Kingdom. But in our case, we want to ask a question. Are these spatial configurations the results of random natural processes, or they reflect deliberate engineering? The case of Bosnia is different. The sites that I mentioned, Egypt, Mexico, or UK, you can see those monuments. In Bosnia, they are covered by vegetation, soil, and forests. So, the objectives answer: do linear alignments between the major features in the Bosnian pyramids exceed random distribution? Then the next one, can those geometries be modeled using golden section or Fibonacci-based parameters? And are they compatible with civil engineering logic today? So, the location of the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids in the town of Visoko in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We will be analyzing the major summits, the Bosnian pyramids of the Sun, Moon, Dragon, Love, Earth, and the subterranean structure of the underground tunnel system. This slide shows the southern Europe, to the right, east, Serbia, to the left, west, Croatia, southeast, Montenegro, and central part of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And in central Bosnia is the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids. Now, this is very complex geomorphology. We have river systems, we have hills, we have terraces, we have valleys. And our objectives are the monuments on the surface and below the surface. This is the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids, showing the major monuments. To the right, the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, next to it, the Love, Temple of Mother Earth, upper right, Pyramid of the Dragon, and the upper left, the Moon Pyramid. This is the key structure of the valley, the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. It's a four-sided pyramid with 4 triangular faces and 4 corners. We have applied the high-resolution LiDAR scanning, then GPS geodetic coordinates showing the pyramid summits, the tumuli. In archaeology, the tumulus is an artificial conical hill, tunnel entrances, and the mouth of two rivers, plus the satellite imagery. Previously, we published some GIS datasets and several peer-reviewed studies. This is the LiDAR scan, which was performed by the Austrian company Airborne Technologies back in 2015 and 2012. Now, this is the data and methodology, terrain modeling, linear regression, spiral geometry modeling, all the way to the Monte Carlo simulations. This is the table of the summit locations with geographic coordinates, latitude and longitude, Gauss-Kruger, and we have the elevation of the monuments. Thanks to the high-resolution LiDAR, we got the map that identifies exact summit locations. Horizontally, it is plus minus 20 centimeters, vertically plus minus 15 centimeters. And then we have identified those candidates for the alignments. Very important, we have measured the orientation of those monuments. For example, in the case of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, the three engineers of geodesy from the State Institute of Geodesy of Bosnia and Herzegovina, using the total station, it was a TS600, they have concluded that the deviation of the northern slope, which is exactly facing us right now, of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, has a deviation of only 0 degrees, 0 minutes, and 12 seconds, or 12 arc seconds from the true north, which is superior to the, so far we thought, the best orientation coming from the Great Pyramid of Egypt or Khufu Pyramid, which has an error of 0 degrees and 3 minutes, or 3 arc minutes. Then we were running the Monte Carlo simulation, criteria, 10,000 spatial simulations, and the thresholds were the adopted engineering and spatial statistics standards, which is p less than 0.05. Now, the first alignment, we were connecting the tops of the three pyramids, the Moon, Earth, and Dragon. And we have noticed that the probability of random occurrence p equals 0.008. And on this slide, we can see to the left the geometric and to the right the photographic evidence that illustrates the mentioned alignment. Now to the right, in the back, we can see the top of the Pyramid of the Moon covered by forest. In the middle, Temple of Mother Earth, triangular face, also completely covered by the vegetation. And the bottom right, the Dragon Pyramid. And connect those three tops, we can visually confirm the linear configuration of those features. The next one, we have 4 points, top of Temple of Mother Earth, Pyramid of Love, Sun, and the Ramnet tunnels. And again, here it is, upper left, top of the Love, the middle, top of the Sun, bottom right, entrance to the Ramnet tunnels, we have extraordinary alignment here. Now, the next one, we moved from linear to spiral positioning in the valley. If I using golden section spiral or Fibonacci spiral, the governing parameter, of course, golden ratio, close to 1.618. The central radius was analyzed first, the central part of the valley, 1.5 kilometers, and then expanded radius of 5 kilometers. Now, this is the first golden section spiral that we applied on 5 key features. The spiral starts at the top of the pyramid of love, intersects with the top of the pyramid of the sun in the central part, to the right, bottom right, intersects with the top of the temple of Mother Earth, bottom down, central part, top of the pyramid of dragon, and all the way up to the right, top of the artificial conical hill of the tumulus. Even though the cultural aspect is not part of my presentation today, these are the sections where we've done the archaeological excavation, finding artificially made or artificially cut materials. So we have 5 points on the golden section spiral. Generally, those spirals are flexible. So if you have 2 points in space, you can easily adjust and have them on your spiral. But 3 points, usually it is in tension. Here we have 5 of them. So we've run the Monte Carlo simulation to check what is the possibility that 5 similar points in nature, hilltops, mountaintops, can give the similar results. Now, we had very strict tolerance, just 50 meters, and the possibility that 5 points are going to be located on the same spiral was P was less than 0.001. Basically, no other configuration on the planet satisfy this criterion. Now, this was not the only Monte Carlo simulation. We've done more, not only 50 meters, but we also gave possibility to 100 meters, even 500 meters, and again, results were so close to 0. The second spiral is centered from the key point, which is the top of the Bosnian pyramid of the sun. It is in upper part. So this is the first point, and then we can see bottom right going to the top of Temple of Mother Earth and terminating at the bottom. It is the top of the pyramid of Dragon. The next one, it starts from the mouth of 2 rivers, River Fonica and River Bosna. So when we start from the estuary, to the right, it goes or it intersects with the top of the pyramid of the moon, then 2 corners of Temple of Mother Earth, and to the left to one of the pyramid hills. So we have 5 points again. And one more spiral, also starting at the mouth of 2 rivers, bottom left, top of the sun, and then intersects with the Ravne underground complex, terminating at the top of the tumulus. And the tumulus is shown upper right. So here we have 4 points. And then we ran Monte Carlo simulation, asking the question, how many triplets, 3 spirals, with at least 3 points or more intersecting golden section spiral. In a Bosnian case, we have 4 or 5 points. So with the 3 points, no triplet spirals. Of course, 4 or 5 also. And then besides the spiral, we wanted to see if there are more configurations. First, we were checking the triangular configuration, and then later on hexagonal, and also something that's known under the name flower of life construction. Here's the first triangular configuration. Upper left, the top of the Bosnian pyramid of the sun. We are connecting it to the right with the top of the moon pyramid. The approximate distance is 2.2 kilometers. And then from the moon, we are going down to the top of the dragon pyramid, again 2.2 kilometers. And from the dragon back to the top of the sun pyramid, 2.2 kilometers. So we are getting almost perfect equilateral triangle with the inner angles at 60 degrees. Having in mind that the triangular faces perfectly match the cardinal points, we run another Monte Carlo simulation, and of course, not one similar case worldwide. The next is a hexagonal grid, where we have a so-called flower of life, and the major point is the middle of the triangle between sun, moon, and dragon. And of course, it shows perfect hexagon or flower of life. Why they were used those terrains? It seems that the structural stability was one of the reasons. The slopes are very mild, no steep erosion terrain. Hydrologically speaking, we've noticed that water canals in the underground tunnels follow the path of the major surface alignments. So it seems that the potential builders were integrating the surface, what's above the surface, and subsurface planning. The key structures are located in the relatively low seismic risk areas, so it was informed site selection. This is a very intriguing case where linear and spiral geometries coexist. I haven't found any around the world. It was either linear or spiral. And there was a coordination between the monuments above and below the ground. So instead of partial building, like potentially in Egypt, from one dynasty to another, from one ruler to another, it seems that here we did have a master plan. So even though we go back very deep, and like I said, it is not a part of today's lecture, it seems that there was a very, very early understanding of hydrological control, terrain optimization, stability, and large-scale spatial planning. Now, in conclusion, obviously, the natural terrain, even though it can produce some geometric coincidences, and this is kind of a limit of the study, it's very hard to accept that so many geometrical coincidences and proofs of spatial planning could be found in one spot. So for me, it's more than obvious that GIS studies and other tools we were using demonstrate non-random spatial organization, because the linear and spiral geometries do exceed chance distribution. So this is the perfect case, the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids, where geometry, engineering were integrated at the landscape scale. So I thank you for your attention. We'll be happy to answer a few questions.